just took a lot. We had to use heat, sprays. Hi, my name's Shelby, and my husband and I no longer work a 9-to-5, and we are sharing our life with you. This is kind of a update video because I kind of dropped off for a few days. I'm so sorry. My kids are upstairs playing, and I've tried to record all day. If I don't record it, it's just not going to happen. So there's probably going to be a little background noise, and there's nothing I can do about it. They're young, and I've tried to explain how to be quiet, but that's their being quiet. So my side, which is the passenger side, we did first. The control arm was clunking, and we were going to replace the tie rod, the outer tie rod, and the wheel hub. Those were the things that we were just going to do because we thought it was making noise. So we got in there. So once we got we started taking it apart, we realized there was more issues. The axle needed replaced. I'm trying to think on that side. So I think that's everything we end up replacing over there. But the problem was there was several bolts and nuts that were so rusty and stuck, and the control arm bolt on both sides gave us so much trouble. We were able to finally get the passenger side out okay to get that back together. It just took a lot. We had to use heat, sprays, finally borrowed my dad's impact, so we were able to finally get that apart and back together, and that took several days because I mean we were out there working on it constantly. But then in between them we had to order more parts because the axle was bad, and then we went to order on Rock Auto, order the axle, and how they had it listed, it would be like the CV axle with ABS, and all of them would say with ABS. So we thought the one that said that didn't have it on there, that it was the right one. Well, it was not how they had it listed. It was weird. We ended up ordering the wrong one by accident. So then we had to find another one, which I could have got one delivered to a parts store here, or we could go and drive to one that was like, I think it was like 30 minutes away, and we could go pick it up now. And the one that we would get ordered was going to take a few hours. I'm like, well, let's just go get this one, try to get back together so we can get working again. And trying to make sure I'm telling you all this right. So, okay. Yeah, so then we went to go pick up, because why the car was down, we were using the van to dash, which is okay. You can do that. It's just it uses more gas. So we were driving to go pick up, and thankfully my mom had my daughter and my other kids were in school. To pick up this axle from the next town over, and our van completely just stopped while we were on the highway, so we were able to coast over, and we were stuck on the side of the highway. The car wouldn't start. It seemed like it was trying to start, so nothing seemed locked up. It was so weird. It wasn't throwing any codes. We still do not know for sure what happened. We thought maybe because it was a little low on oil, we added oil. It did it one more time after that. But the second time it did it, it started right back up. So we still do not know. I'm thinking maybe it might be a sensor or something. We've had issues and issues and issues with this van. We've had to replace so many parts, computer parts and stuff. It's just a known. It's that year van that we got. It's one of the worst ones. And after we bought it, after doing research, everyone was like, no, do not buy this van because it has all these issues. And even when we go into the parts store, the guy his son-in-law has the same van, and he said his son-in-law is constantly doing the same thing. So, so that broke down, and I was too scared to drive the van long distances. We still don't drive it long distance, just take kids to school and stuff, and the schools are pretty close, so it's not that big of a deal. But I was too scared to dash in it, so we really couldn't dash. And definitely for the first few days, because we weren't even driving it, because I did not want to get stuck on the side of the road again. We do have roadside assistance on our insurance, so that's how we got back, which that was a whole experience riding in a tow truck. I've never done it before. Felt like I was 20 feet in the air and the guy was driving a little crazy. I mean, got us home, and it was awkward because everyone was silent. But anyway, so then we got the car back together and we started driving it again, and I think I have a video of us when we were driving it that I don't know if I posted it or not already, but my side sounded fine, but his side, we heard the clunking and stuff again. Both sides were just bad, and I didn't know that his side was clunking because my side was so loud and stuff, so I didn't know, or I would have ordered everything 2 packs. Oh. Yeah, let's rewind a little bit. I forgot something. So we ordered, my husband was looking for parts for the car because I thought we could only we'd have to press the bearing out and press it back in and all that. So we bought a press. We did all that, got it pressed out, pressed back in, then we put it together, and when I spin it, it just had the lightest, like, rubbing noise. And I was like, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure about this. So I went to do research. Turns out you can buy the wheel hub and the knuckle together on Amazon. You can't do it on Rock Auto, and that's where we get a lot of our parts. So he just figured that we could not buy it like that. So I'm like, you know what, I know we already bought these parts, but let's just go ahead and do that so we know it's good and then everything. So that's another part we had to wait for. So that got in, and when it got in and I listened to it, it made the same exact noise. So I think we did completely fine on the second first one. So we have an extra one. But anyway, so we've bought tools and part after part to try to fix this stinking car. And then, sorry, I'm bouncing all over the place. So then we drove it, and then we heard that, and I was like, well, we need to go ahead and replace the other. And that's when I got on Amazon, and I realized we could buy a lot of this stuff in pairs. So we got the inner tie rods, the outer tie rods for both sides, again, even though the one we already replaced. And then I went ahead and ordered the control arm, another wheel hub set to put on there. And then we realized while we were doing that axle was even worse than the other side. So we were able to just order that into the same, where we got the right axle the second time we ordered it for the other side. So we went and got that. And I'm going to tell you, every part on this car, on both sides, but on that side, did not want to come off. It did not want to move. It did not want to budge. It didn't want to do anything, okay? And we were trying everything. We were looking up all the tips, all the tricks, all of that. We got everything off. The original tie rod is still on that side right now. We need to replace that, but we needed a break because we were outside in freezing cold. I mean, literally freezing. It said it felt like 10 degrees out. Some days it was like 5. It was snowing. It was raining. We had like a tarp set up, trying to do the best we could. We were all bundled up trying to get this situated. So we were back at the same situation where it was just one bolt on the control arm that would not come off, okay? And so the control arm, it would go through a piece of metal into the control arm, and then into the subframe. There was no nut on the end of it, okay? So trying to get it out, it didn't want to come out, and it wasn't even stuck in the subframe. What happened was the bushing, in the control arm, there's a bushing, and it has a metal sleeve that the bolt goes through, and then there's the rubber part of the bushing. The rubber part and the metal sleeve separated, and the metal sleeve got stuck on the nut. So we couldn't get it out. It was stuck. The nut was just, or the bolt was stuck. It got stuck on the bolt, and it would not come out. We've tried everything. We tried the impact. We tried, everything we could possibly think of. And so eventually we had to cut it out. And that was a big ordeal because we were trying not to cut the subframe, trying not to do any damage to anything else. We finally got it cut out, and then this took days to do this. And then we got the new control arm in there. It was a struggle because everything was it wasn't fitting and it was tight, but we got it in there. And then we found out that the subframe where it screws into was stripped from trying to get it out over and over again. And this is a very, very common problem with this car. How they put it together is great, but they don't think about maintenance, and the maintenance situation trying to fix any of it was not great because the transmission was in the way, so we had to lift that up out of the way a little bit just to try to move it. We didn't know what we were going to do because we've already put a lot of money in this. I mean, all the parts was hundreds of dollars, plus we bought the press and a few extra tools and stuff that we needed for this. So we came to get the subframe because they don't really make the parts for this car anymore. To get the subframe, it was like for a used one, it was like $500, and that's kind of, for me, is a little sketchy because I don't know what they've done with it, if it's been on a wreck or not, and we'd have to wait several days for shipping. To buy a new one, it was about $1,000. I don't know how much shipping was, and we still would have to wait several days for it to get shipped here. So we're like, well, what if we just, cut it open, try to get it to where we can weld a nut up in there to hold the bolt in and make it secure and all this. So that's what we ended up going with. But we went to Harbor Freight. We bought a cheap welder. We had to cut parts. We had to drill holes. Finally, after several tries, we got the nut up in there. I had to take my finger and stick it up in there because it's a little tiny hole we were working with. We got all that together. We got it all welded back together. And then the stinking tie rod end will not come off. We've tried, so we're going to have to, hopefully we can just get the inner out and pull it all out at once, but we needed a little bit of a break. So we finally got it all back together, and the car is finally working again. Everything seems fine. We do need a couple new tires for it, for the front, because they're not very good, and the tie rod. We will be replacing the tie rod at some point, but that is why, I know it's a long spiel, but that is why we haven't been able to work. Now, he did work the last 2 days of the DoorDash week, whatever, I don't know what it is. It's either Monday to Monday or Saturday to Saturday. I don't know. It's one day, but he worked the last 2 days of that. He literally started working the day that we got it fixed. Just a couple hours after we got it fixed, he started working. And so last week he made like $240 in 2 days. He's out dashing right now while I'm recording this. I'm not sure what he's at. He worked 2 hours for the lunch rush, and he made about $40. And then he did like a 30-minute. After that, he had to stop because we had to do something quickly. And he made like 23 then, and now he's out working now. He said it's not the best right now, and it's been an issue after issue. He said right now there's someone in the parking lot with every single door open, and he can't get through. So that's what he's dealing with now. We kind of got behind on some bills and stuff, so we're trying to play catch up with that right now because we spent so much money fixing the car, and I haven't been able to work, which led to me not being able to source. So my eBay has not been the greatest, plus we're around the holiday, and normally like a little bit before the holiday it's okay, but once you get up close to it, like a week before, stuff kind of slows down because everyone's worried about buying stuff like closer in person because you can't really get stuff shipped, and they're not worried about buying stuff on eBay, which is fine. I'm not doing like, my sales haven't completely stopped, but it's just extremely low. So it should get better right after Christmas. It normally does. But that's just kind of a little update. I'll probably end up letting you guys know what he ends up making tonight. He's been doing about $100 to $140 a day since we got the car fixed. So we're just going to try to keep getting it up and up and up. I'm hoping to get around $1,500 a week between DoorDash and eBay. That's my goal. But we just got to get there. And I've been struggling with this camera. It keeps dying. So if you get a GoPro, please buy some extra batteries because you will need it. I have it plugged in right now because it died. I only recorded a few minutes. So that'll probably be it. There's my rant for my car issues. That's just kind of how it is sometimes, and you just got to work through it and get it, you know, figure it out as it goes. But hope everyone's having a good holiday. I don't know when this will be posted, so maybe Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year. And I hope you guys all are enjoying your family. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye.